Hello and welcome back to the sixth live stream of August 2020. As I try to do 60 hours of streaming this month, currently we are at 14 hours. 14 hours and a few seconds. Let me pull up the terminal window so we can see exactly where we're at. We are at 14 hours and 8 seconds. It's about 9:16, 9:15 on Monday, August 10th. I didn't stream yesterday, even though I was planning on it, but I had a long day and it was pretty exhausting. Not that today was any less exhausting, but don't have much more time. I need to catch up. I have a bunch of hours to catch up on. So I'm going to get started with the stream. For anyone that's new, I'm working on Angular and JavaScript mostly. Let me pull up my my project that I've been working on. So I've been mostly working on this project. I was thinking about this thing yesterday, actually. So I'm going to implement some things that I was thinking over the course of the night. I don't know how long we'll stream for. At least 2 hours, maybe longer. We'll see. So basically, we're just making like kind of like a master detail note-taking app kind of thing, web app kind of thing. But there's a bunch of things I still have to implement, and we are still very early on in this project. But let's get started with the timer here. Okay, I could just do node count up timer. And there we go. The timer should be going along the bottom right of the window, as you can see down there. So I've been working on this project based off of a tutorial that I've been working on. It is... if you want to know which tutorial I'm actually doing, you can watch the previous two videos. I kind of like showed it, went over it a little bit. But I'm at a point where I need to because I didn't have a vision when I started this. I kind of have to go back now and fix some things because I didn't know what I was going to do when I started creating this thing. I was kind of following the tutorial and just modifying things to make it work for this project, which I just just kind of started out of nowhere. But hold on one second. Hello, Nam Wen. I see we have some people in the chat. How's it going? Okay, let's see. All right, so I have my chat box here on the right. Make sure I'm all set up here. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit, when I'm going through these tutorials, it's a little bit boring to watch. Hold on, let me go back to the my other view. When I'm going through the tutorial, it's a little bit boring to watch because I don't think I should, shouldn't be playing the tutorial on screen for copyright reasons and stuff like that. So I have my iPad screen over here on the left side to your right, and I'm going through the tutorial on here. I have my AirPods in so I could hear what the dude is saying, but then I'm gonna there'll be periods of time where I'm really quiet and I'm just listening, seeing what he's saying, and then I'm gonna apply whatever I'm learning to the project that I'm working on the screen that you could see. Let me pull up the code so you could see that. So far this is our project code that creates all of this that you see on screen. And what we got working last time was being able to click on a school and updating the detail side. So we have the information coming in using an Angular service. For anyone that's watching this from the beginning or here right now, what I would recommend is that you scroll all the way to the end of this video. So, whether it's 2 hours long, 3, 4, 6 hours, however long I end up going for, scroll all the way to the end. If you're watching this after the fact, see if what I'm making or what I make is of interest to you. And if it is, then you could, then maybe you'll know that this is something worth watching. But if not, then that's okay. Because I realize that, when you have to stream for 60 hours and you're not really teaching something, you're kind of learning on your own and just forced to stream, it can get a little bit boring and dry. But feel free to talk in chat if you are in here, ask questions, say hi, and so on. Let's see, let me go back to my window here. Okay, so yesterday I was thinking I was thinking that this isn't the right. By the way, I'm sorry for all the sounds that you might be hearing. I have the dishwasher going on to my left. The washing machine is going. It's like going off. The air conditioner is also blowing air. So there might be some like weird sounds coming at you, but hopefully just my voice is what's like, dominant in here. So I was thinking more about this project that I've been working on. And I don't think it makes sense to just have like, the first screen or the first, thing that someone sees be just a list of schools and the details for like the first school. Actually, if I refresh the page, the person just sees the list of schools on the left, but they don't have any school details on the right. And I don't think this is a good first page to have to display to someone who like visits this site or is using this site. I think a better page would be like a filter or a search page, because if someone is, trying to use this thing, if I have hundreds or thousands of schools in here, there's no need for me to like, make the person scroll like crazy. Even though I do have like a search bar here in the top right in the nav bar, I think I should start off with an actual like, Google like search bar and maybe some filters. So I'm going to try to work on that first. I think that makes a little bit more sense as like the entry point of this web app. So let us create a component that will allow us to do that, and then I will display that first. So actually I'm going to display those two components along the top nav bar right now. Right now I have home and drop down. I'm going to replace this with like search and school view or something like that. So let's why don't we get started on that? So let us go into our code. And let me go into the header because that's where I have the nav bar. And I'm going to change some of this code around. So I don't want to put a drop down anymore. So I am going to remove that drop down. Yeah, I'm going to remove it just because I can't imagine like what the person would drop down. Or I mean, if I do need a drop down, I'll come back to it like much later and bring this stuff back. If it's your first time here viewing this thing, I'm using Bootstrap as my for my styling of this project. Okay. What else? So here we have home. I don't want home. I want search current. What does this do? So just search, and I guess I'm gonna have to do another list item, and that's where I'll have my the link to the second page. So I'm gonna do another list item, and it's not gonna be active. Just a nav item by itself, and this one's going to be the school view. So there we go. When you hit save, all the formatting, like the automatic formatting thing, happens because of a VS Code extension that I'm using called Prettier. So Prettier, I think if you like look at it, it's like an opinionated like formatting thing. So whenever I hit save, it like automatically like fixes the way that things look according to the rules that the person that created it set. But I could modify some of those rules, but I don't really care. I'm just happy that it like, indents things where they should be and does things, in a prettier way. Pun intended there. Okay, so we have our school view, we have our search. So I think when the person first, visits this app, they should see the search, not the school view and not the details or anything like that. So we should first start off with the search view. So that's happening because of my app component. I mean, that's literally what I'm displaying first, which is the app header, which I want the app header to be at the top because this is the nav bar. This is my code for the nav bar. But this row with the school list and school detail, the master detail kind of a view, this I don't want displaying right now, at least not in the beginning. So here I'm going to create a new component, and that new component is going to be the search and filter view or page. So let's create that. Let me open up a terminal inside of VS Code. And we are in my app. Let us do ng-gc, so generate component. And we're going to create a, let me think. What are we going to name it? That's the question. Search and filter. Okay, so let's go with search and, yeah, I guess we'll go with that name. And because I don't want the testing file to be created, I'm going to type in or add the flag spec false. So when I create it, we should see that, okay, maybe that didn't work. Maybe that's not how you do it. All right, so maybe that's not how you make it so that it doesn't create a spec file. Whatever, we'll just delete it after it gets created. So we'll just do search and filter, and it is done. Right here, here's my component. I'm going to delete this TypeScript file, which I don't need for testing, because I'm not doing I'm not running any tests or creating any tests from now on. Here is my selector. So this is the directive, I believe it's called, that we can put here in app component.html. So let's do div contain, no, not another container, we need a row. So div.row, and we'll just go across the full screen. So we'll do column small 12, so that, you know, if the person like minimizes the page, or if they're viewing it on a phone, it'll just become smaller, or it'll stack on top of, like the different pieces will stack on top of each other. So app search and filter is my tag, and we could see that it works because if I look at app search and filter.html, where is it? Search and filter works. That's what we should see in our project right now. Search and filter works. So it looks like we were missing the school view, which we had worked on the previous couple of days, or the previous couple of streams. Hello, Ellen. Let's see. Hello, Mr. G. My students loved you. AP CSP, AP Computer Science Principles. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that it helped out you. Hopefully the videos helped you out and your students, and hopefully they did well on the AP. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. So search and filter works, and my school view right now is hidden, but that's okay because when I'm gonna make it so that when I click on the school view, it's gonna, we can go to that screen, and we could see the view that we previously had. Or in the search, actually, when I think about it, on this front page in the search, people should be able to search for a specific school or teacher or principal or whatever it is that they're looking for, and we'll have filters. So actually, let's start kind of like making that. Let's go to Get Bootstrap. So we could find like some stylings that we like for what we're trying to create. So I do know that I want like a Google-like search bar. So let me go to Components. And that is going to be, and I don't think it's an input group, but let me go to input group. Maybe it is. But the reason I don't think it's a group, it's because it's just one by itself. So I wonder if it's supposed to be different, something else. You know what? Let's just go with an input group. Where is it? There we go. Just like some sample input group, just like this. But which one is good? Something like this looks nice. Maybe one like this with the search here on the right. So recipient username, which one is that one? This one. Okay, so let's copy paste this in our code. So search and filter works. Let us put, let's change the placeholder So enter a school principal or teacher. And this button is going to say search. And we're not going to get it working today, but we're going to, we're going to get the look right. So, well, actually right now it doesn't look so great because I have my, the background of my page right now is gray, but at least the search button turns a dark gray when you hover over it. But here, people are going to be able to type, and we'll figure out a way to get it so that as they're typing, they start getting options for, things that they're looking for, something they could be looking for. The thing I'm noticing is that it doesn't make sense to have a search bar on the page and then have a search in the nav bar, at least not in this view. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is for now I'm just going to comment out that the search bar in the nav bar because it doesn't really make sense to have it there. But I think it could make sense to have it in the school view if you're searching for a specific teacher or something like that. So we are going to comment it out for now in the code. So let me go back to my app. Not in the component, it's in the header. So we have to fix our header. So as you can see with Angular, everything's very modular. So, I have all my little pieces in different places. Just got to find them in wherever they are. And here is the search right here in this form. So I'm going to highlight all this, press Command /, and when I hit save, if we go back to our project, the search bar is gone, which is exactly what we want because we have our search bar right here now. Maybe we would have like some instructions for the user. We would say like, enter a, actually I do have it in the placeholder, but maybe that's not the best place to put the instructions. I mean, when you go to like google.com, you could see that, it has the logo. So maybe a logo would be nice. Maybe having the search button underneath it. That's okay. We'll leave that for now. We'll leave it like this for now, I should say. And now I also want to be able to, let's see, if someone's going to be filtering for like, specific districts or schools or something like that, we need to have some sort of way to filter through. So let's see what kind of filters or, buttons we get. And that would be maybe in utilities? No, I don't think it would be in utilities. Let's go back to components. Maybe buttons? I guess we could have some filtering buttons. Maybe not. Well, let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit, see what might make sense. A block level button, not really. Button group? Nah, not really. It doesn't make sense right now either. Cards, carousel. No, definitely not a carousel. We want to drop down. No, I don't think a drop down would be good either. maybe a form. Actually, some of these forms might work. So, for example, if someone wants to select multiple, districts, we could have them. We could do something like this. Okay, so multiple select might make sense. So let me bring all of this in and then remove the things that are not multiple select. And that is going to be in our search and filter view underneath this. Actually, let me create some rows so that we could div.call sm12. So this is going to go full screen. And I'm going to make another row over here that I'm going to put this this search bar in. So let us do div row. Let's go full width of the screen, and we're going to put all of this, our input group, inside there. Once I hit save, now we should have some of these some of these form groups in there, but I don't want all of them. I'm going to remove the ones I don't want. So the one I do want is the example multiple select. So let's remove these and the one after it, because I don't need a text area. The text area actually is going to be something that I'm going to use when I'm taking notes on people. So the options would be like district 1, district 2, district 3, district 4, and district 5. We'll leave these 5 districts for now. So let me hit save. Let's see our project so far. We could see we have the search bar, or we could start selecting districts. And I guess we would have to. I guess we would need like a search button to like actually search for these districts. All right, we'll think about that. We'll think about how we're gonna make that look or work later on. We could have some selectors like this, like something you could like scroll through and pick. I was kind of thinking more of like checkboxes. Checkboxes might make sense for something like this, instead of having the problem with multiple select is that a lot of people don't know how you can select more than one. So like they might want to select 1 and 3, and they don't know you have to hold down like command or control. And plus, when you go like full width, there's so much empty white space. I don't really like that either. So let us use checkboxes. Checkboxes I think are a great idea. All right, so we're going to use a checkbox. And definitely not a radio button, because then they could only select one. So I think instead of multiple select, we'll go with the checkboxes, and we'll put a few here. Do we need multiple form checks? Is that how we do it? So maybe we'll do check 2, check 1, and check 3, and then we'll just say district 3, district 2, and district 1. When we actually wire this up and actually get it working correctly, we'll have to come back here and probably have to change some of these things, these attributes. All right, so let me hit save, see what it looks like right now. All right, so I mean that's a little bit better. Don't mind that music. It's the washer machine telling me that it's done. I don't even know if you could hear it, but I can. Okay, so this would work. So people can choose the districts that they want to search for. They hit the search button, and then they go on to the school view that only shows schools in that district. Right now, the school view does not work because I haven't wired it together. But, that's okay. So, and the thing is, if there's like 32 districts, maybe we'll go across and we'll do multiple columns. Let's do 3 columns for now. Let's just get that working. So this one will be, instead of going 12, which would be going all the way across, let's do 3 columns. So each one is going to be 4. So let me see where this one ends. And this one's also going to be 4, and this one's going to be 4. So now over here, we're going to have 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to have to change these IDs later on. Actually, let's do it right now. No, let's just leave it because it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get this working for a while. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this should put my my checkboxes going across. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. So someone could choose the districts that they're looking at, and maybe programmatically we could figure out a way to like divide, however many number of districts there are, divided by 2 or 3 or 4, and then create that many columns. But for now, this looks pretty good. And then they hit search, and we go on to the school view, so we can see the schools that are in these districts. What else? Is there anything else that I'm missing for a view, for like the main view? I think we're okay for now. So let us figure out how to connect. I mean, right now we're not passing any data from this component to the next. But let me go back to the school view. So let's connect the school view to the link up here. So that way I can search and go to each one correctly. Right now, the only way I could think of is to use the structural directive ngIf, but I know that's probably not the best way of doing it. We probably want to use routing eventually, but since I don't remember how to do any of that, I'm just gonna get it to work in the way that I can think of right now. So in my header, we are going to, so we have the 2 links. We have the search and the school view. And what we'll do is we will, how do we do this? Should I keep track of the current view in the header? I could do something like that. So I could do current view equals, so we're going to create a property, call it current view, and make that equal to search. And then if someone clicks on the other link, so let us go to the HTML over here. So if someone clicks on this link right here, so on that event, on the click event, we're going to do change view. And then we're going to pass school. And we're going to call it the school view. But if someone clicks on search, then we're going to have click, change view, and we'll call this the search. That looks good, I think. So I could pass these. So now I got to create a change view function or method inside of this class. We'll call it change view. It's going to receive the view that we should be looking for, which is of type string. And we could just set the current view, set it equal to the view that is passed in. And now what I can do, actually no, I'm not going to be able to do this because I have to actually pass this one level higher to the app component.html. You know what? I could still do that. I'm going to do it that old school way of passing it up the chain. I don't want to call it the old school way. That's just one way of doing it, but it's not the most efficient way. But it's a way that I think I know how to do. So we will, let's do that. If we want to be able to access current view from outside of this component, we have to emit an event from this component that the app component is going to be listening to. So let's create an event. Let me figure out how to do that. So Angular event emitter example. Okay, so in the one that I want to emit that event, so we have to use this, what's this called? Not selector. Maybe it's select, no, it's not the selector. Well, whatever this is called. Does it say output? All right, we're gonna use something like this. and then we're going to emit it once we see that the value has changed, or the page has changed. So let us try to get that working. So we're going to create an output. We'll call it view change, or view changed, which is a new event emitter. What is the issue? Cannot find name event emitter. Oh, so I might have to import that from Angular core. There we go. Of type any. What am I emitting here? This dot value change dot emit. Okay, so in my code it's going to be this dot view changed dot emit, and then we're going to emit the current view. This dot current view. This might be like redundant. I might be able to cut this out later on. Okay, so this is going to be. Oh, I also have to import outputs from Angular core. Otherwise, it doesn't know what this does. Change view. What is my issue here? Oh, yeah, I'm not. Actually, it is emitting. It's emitting something of type. Well, I don't know what this type would be. Actually, it's not returning anything, so we're just going to say it's void. Okay. So we're going to emit it from here, and we're going to listen to it in app components HTML. So over here, sorry, in the TypeScript file, I think what I can do is have an input. And then the input is going to be, actually, let me see what they say in the example. Here we go. Oh, decorator, that's what it's called. Input and output are decorators. Let me look at the actual Angular documentation. So emit. Oh, subscribe. I think it's going to have to listen to it in a subscription, or observable, I think it's called. This wasn't very helpful. All right, let us go back to the code. Let's do the view, the received view, and that's going to be of type string. And so in the is it on init? Once it initializes this component, we should start listening to see if we receive that like broadcast. So that's going to be extends on init, or is it implements on init? Okay, so now we need on init in here. If I hit save, we should get some error. Yes, we're going to need on init, ng on init. There we go. We're not going to throw a new error. We're going to hold on, let me put the input above everything. We're going to create a subscription. This dot received view equals, all right, how does that work? Didn't I do this somewhere else? There's just so much to learn. It's kind of hard to keep track with all this. Teacher model, teacher service. Do I have it in school list? Where do I have that? I thought I had a subscription somewhere. All right, so here we're emitting the school that was selected. Oh, we're not using output. Why is that? Oh, maybe because I'm using the service. So I don't need an output when I use a service. Probably. I'm going to have to go back to my tutorial. I don't remember exactly how to do that. So instead of spending precious time, not that we're in a rush or anything, but instead of spending time on trying to figure that out, I'm going to just try to find it in the tutorial and figure out how I can basically go through those two. So let me move this, let me move the microphone over, let me bring the iPad in front of me, and I'm going to do that. As you can see, I have the iPad in front of me, and hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, how do we do this? Okay, so we don't need to do a current view. Actually, do we? I'm going to say we don't need it right now. And then we could remove it from here and just pass or emit the view outside of this header. Okay, so what I was doing wrong was that I have to listen to this, if you look at my header component, I'm emitting the view changed, I'm emitting the view changed event. So I have to be listening to that specific event in the app component .html. So here is where we're going to listen in here, and then, you know, and then from here we'll decide which one to show, whether we show the search and filter or we show the school list and school detail view. Okay, so where do I put that? So let's put that in the, so that's the app header. Oh, we have to listen to it in app header. So view changed is an event that I just created, and when that gets fired, so app header is actually listening to it for that event, and when that gets fired, we'll do on navigate, and then we will let's see. And so we got to use $event to get the data that's being passed, which is a string on which view we should be looking for. Okay, so that's a little tricky. I definitely would not have remembered that off the top of my head. And this is just one way of doing things. So I need this method in my app component. And we could set it equal to search. That's our first view. So it could infer that the search is a string. Do we need input? All right, doesn't look like we need the input decorator. So I'm going to remove it from my code. On navigate receives string, and we're going to set this dot received view equal to the view that we receive from the event. All right, so now we can determine if we're going to display search and filter or the school list and school detail. Oh, then I probably should put these in another component. Maybe master detail view. Or you know what I could do? I wonder if I put the ngIf on this row, if it'll just show the whole row. So let's do ngIf only if the received view equals so search, and what was the other view what did I call it? Search and school, or schools, I should probably change it to. Or, I'll call it school view. Let me go back to my header component and make sure I call it school view. And this one's going to be search view. We'll just use one word for it. Let me fix that in here. So our app components, we'll start with search view. And then only if received view equals school view will we show this. Otherwise, it'll be hidden. or it just won't even show up. And same thing here. ng if the received view equals the search view. Okay, moment of truth. Let's go back to my Safari. So, well, right now it's not showing anything. Let me go to my console and see if we have an error or we have any issues here. No, but maybe it's not showing anything because by default it's not detecting. Let me refresh. Maybe by default it's not setting a default, so I might have to click them. No, it's not. That's not working. All right, let's see what else I got to do. So maybe I'm not able to put it on the row. Maybe I should do the ng if the structural directive on the right selector. Let me hit enter. We should see our search view. No. Are we getting any errors from the terminal? Doesn't look like it. Huh, that's really odd. Let me go back to my project. Maybe I have to be explicit, like triple equals school view if received view, and received view is in my app component. Oh, did I not maybe I didn't save them. Okay, so let me save that. I see that some of these have this circle, which means that the file wasn't saved. So let me just save everything, and then we'll try it again. So let me, oh, there we go. Search and filter works. I see it on the screen right now. Now let me click on school view, and we see our school details. So we have it working correctly. And when I refresh the page, the search and filter page comes up first. So I think we can go back to our, let me go back to the app component. And I guess we could have, maybe we could have this ng if not on the selector, but we could have it on the actual row. Let me hit save and see if that works. Yep, looks like it's working fine. And I'd prefer to have it on the row. So we remove the whole row if it shouldn't be there. So, you know, we could select our districts. We should have a search button. Yeah, this is good. We're getting somewhere. And now we can navigate to the school view. Or what should happen is once you hit search, it should automatically move you to the school view and show the schools that that meet the criteria for that meet the criteria that were selected. Or, you know, maybe you search, if you search for a specific school. Oh, so this is tricky then. So maybe I shouldn't have a search bar, because if someone searches for a specific school and then clicks it, it really won't go to the, or shouldn't go to the school view, because the school view is going to be, it should really be called schools view, because it's going to have a list of all the schools, and then the details of the school is going to be on the right. But if they search for a specific school and they find it and they hit like search or enter, or they select the school, then I don't need to show them other schools. Oh, this is annoying now. So maybe we need to have another view. We'll think about it. We'll keep working on this for now. I'm just happy I have this like navigation kind of working. I think in the future I'm gonna to do it right, like the preferred way or the efficient way or the best way, I might have to use routing. I think that's what I need to do. But for now, this works using structural directives and outputs and events. Okay, so just to recap, what I'm doing in the header is on click. So I'm detecting the click event. So when someone clicks on the header, whether they click on the search button or the school view button, That'll fire off the change view method, and I pass in the view that I should be changing to, right? Or no, wait, change view, search view. Yeah, no, yeah, the view that I'm changing to or should be changing to. So when I click on search, I should be switching to the search view. If I click on the school view, I should be switching to the school view. And that, if we look at our TypeScript file, that method right here, change view, takes in a view of type string, and what it does is it emits an event. And I created that event, I called it view changed. I created a new event emitter that's emitting a string. So you can see, it's taking the string, it's emitting the string, and this is passing or using, because it has the output decorator, it is passing data out one level up to the app component .ts file, and this, or sorry, to the component.html file. It is passing that event to, I'm detecting it here in the app header, from the app header. So I'm receiving view changed. That's the event that I created in the header component, view changed, and it has the output decorator, so I could, access it from outside. I'm able to detect it in app component. When we detect the view was changed, we fire off another method that we call onNavigate. So this will navigate to the correct, or this will change the page to the correct, to what it should show. And if we look at the TypeScript file, we have received view, we set it equal to the search view in the beginning. And on navigate, we could put a void because it's not returning anything. We could give it that type, or that return type. On navigate is receiving the view that it should switch to, and then we're setting the property received view equal to that view that we just received from the event. And then I use the structural directive ngIf to only show the correct row based on what the current value of the property received view is. And so my header is controlling my app component HTML. Oof, that's a lot. You can see why this isn't efficient if I have to go like 2 levels up, or if I have to pass it across multiple components, then you need multiple outputs, event listeners, all that stuff. So that is definitely not the best way of doing things, but we will, it works for now, and that's worth something. Okay, so, and like I mentioned that, we're gonna have to rethink this. Maybe we don't even have a search bar here. I'll just leave, maybe we just put the search bar back in the nav bar and not have the search in the search view. Oh. See, I'm not a good designer. I don't know anything about design or UX, like the user experience. So I'm just trying to get some stuff working and kind of look as if it, whoa, okay, and look, pretty or something. Well, this is weird. Like when I click on the actual district name, if I'm on that same row, it's highlighting the district 1. And if I click on district 8, like on the actual text, it unchecks or checks district 2. So that's not cool. All right, we'll have to sort that out later. But for now, we have to click directly in the checkbox. Okay. Oh, so what next? Let's see. Yeah, for now we'll just, we'll go with what we have. And so, I guess what I would do is I would detect which boxes are selected, and then maybe have a search button down here. Maybe. Maybe that makes sense. I'm not 100% sure. We'll leave it like this for now. But, select the districts, and then when you hit the search button, we'll have another button over here. it'll switch to the school view and show only the schools that belong to those districts. Okay, and then when they select the school, the detail view will pop up. Okay. All right, let's see. What else can we add from this? You know what we should do? Maybe, I mean, I was gonna say maybe we should add a school adder like view here in the bottom left instead of having this empty space. But maybe we don't really need that because there might be a bunch of schools which someone could select. So I don't really need to do that actually. I thought I needed to fill up some space. For now, we're happy with this. Okay, let's see. What else? What else can we learn? What else can we do? All right, so we already have the data services, although the data's not going to a database right now. It's just being kept in this file. Where is it? The services file. So here we have our data, for example. Our teacher data. Keep it in a service, but I guess this service we would have to create, maybe use like create our own structure, data structure or database to store this stuff in so that it stays permanently inside of the database and we don't have to like hard code everything like this. I'm trying to think of what the best next step is. Let's see what else is in this tutorial. Okay, the router. So the router is probably going to be what we're going to use to switch between these views. So let me, using services for pushing data from A to B. I don't really need to do that right now. I'm going to start doing this this section in this course. Hold on, I just got a message. Okay, let's go through this. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, based on what I'm seeing him do, I actually don't like having the this is going to be ridiculous. I don't like having the navigation on the nav bar because I think we could use tabs. So let me show you. Bootstrap tabs like this inside of the page. But where's the one that I like? Here, like this. Yeah, these kind of tabs. I think it actually kind of looks nice, or nicer. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then it'll load the correct, using the router, it'll load the correct HTML based on the tabs that we have. I just kind of like that look a little bit better than this right here. Even though this works, I kind of like the tabs inside of the page. And maybe on the nav bar I have something else. Like I could have like accounts or something else. settings. We'll see. Let's see what they have here in this project. All right, let's see if we could implement that. Let's see if we can bring these in. Nav tabs. And we're not doing pills, right? Nav justified. Okay, let's see if we can get that in our project. So in the app components, we have our app header, and then we have this. But instead of that, let's see if this would work. So this one's active, link, disabled. We don't need a disabled one. This is going to be our search. This is going to be our school view. Maybe teacher. Maybe schools and teachers. So depending on what someone's looking for. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we can see the tabs up here. The formatting's a little off because there's no like padding or anything like that, but that's okay. But we're gonna get search, schools, teachers. We're gonna remove these links, and we're gonna do we're gonna use these for the routes. Search is fine right now. Okay, let's keep going. So we have to go back to our project, and we have to, in app module, we have to create the routes. Const app routes. Without the slash. All right, so we have to have the right component structure. So in the search and filter, we have to add our search and filter component. And we did a good job of having, I mean, luckily we did a good job of having everything in there. I think the list is gonna, the school list, teacher list is gonna be a little bit screwy. We're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to put it inside of another component. So this is in the search and filter component. Why is there, oh, when I hit enter, when I save it, it'll create the space. Schools, so we need to, we're gonna have to create another component and then put school list and teacher list inside of that component. That way we could, when someone clicks on schools, it shows the, let me think. When someone clicks on schools, it shows the master detail view. But that's gonna have the school list and the teacher list. And actually, now that I think about it, so we have the school detail, and we should have the teacher list inside of the, we should have both of those inside of another component. So I think I mentioned this last time that I should have a, this isn't the, I didn't structure my components correctly, so now I'm gonna have to go back and fix it, because I want to load up, you know, just one component, and I'm gonna call it the, you know, master detail component, which does not exist right now. So I need to create it. Let me open up the terminal. Let us do nggc master detail components. That's what we're going to call it. Oh, we're just going to call it master detail, and it'll automatically add component to it, I believe. We'll see. Moment of truth. Master detail. Let me delete that spec file, and let me go back to the, yes, master detail component. So in our app module, master detail component now should exist. So let me, master detail component. Failed to save. The content of the file is newer. Let's overwrite. Sure. What is wrong here? Component? I didn't misspell it. Change spelling to teacher details. What's the error here? That's odd. When I hit save, move to a new file. Uh-oh, I did not want to do that. Let me undo in 2 files. Alright, we'll leave it here for now. Maybe I need to, I need to import it. Maybe that's why I'm getting all these errors. Master detail component. I don't see it in here. From master detail component. Okay. Does that, okay, that fixes this. And now what I need to do is I need to bring in the school list and the teacher list inside of that master detail component. Let's move it, which is going to break a few things, probably. Let's move it, and now we should see when I save, it probably it probably won't know where school list and teacher list component. So it should not be able to find it. It should probably, I mean, we should be getting more errors. Where are they? I mean, this whole thing should be broken right now. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, file not found. It doesn't know where these. Actually, you know what? Because I'm changing the app module, I need to restart the whole. I need to reserve it. Yeah. Because it has no idea what changes were just made. So let me do ng serve, having saved what I needed to. I don't know why it's going so slow, but we'll see. Is it done? No. Okay, we got a bunch of errors. Yeah, it's not able to import them because it can't find them. So I really need to fix the where they're located before I try to rebuild it. Okay, so the teacher list, what did I just move over? So let's think about what we just moved. In the school list and the teacher list were just put inside of this master detail folder. So school list is now inside of master dash detail. Okay, so let me copy that. Same thing with the teacher list. It is not inside of the teacher list folder because that is inside of the master detail folder. So that's saved. What about the teacher details? Is also inside of the master detail. School detail, same idea. Search and filter is still in its own. That's okay. Master detail is fine. All right, I think I got everything I needed. So let me hit save. There's just one that's broken. Okay, can't resolve school list, school service. Okay, so I gotta fix the service also. So where is that service? Where am I implementing the service? Oh, here. So it's not in school list now. It's inside master detail inside of school list. Oh, school list inside of master detail. So let me save that. And I think there might have been another service also. So that's the school service. There should be a teacher service somewhere. Here's teacher service. Oh, but that's in this folder, so it doesn't really have an issue with that. Whereas the other one was looking for the file and the whole thing. All right, so let's see if this works. Let me just close out of all these files, which are driving me nuts. Okay, let's hit save. Let's go back to Safari, and it looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like it works. Search and filter works. Okay. What are my tabs saying here? Search, schools, teachers. Let me remove teachers because I don't have anything for teachers like that yet. So let me delete that. Let's hit save. Wow, I feel my computer running really slow. What is going on? Not sure what happened. Timer's still going. Okay, we're okay with that. It's all that matters. As long as that timer's still going. We are at 15 hours, so we are 1/4 of the way there, and it's August 10th, so we are way behind schedule. We should be close to 20 hours, and we're at 15. I think. Yes, we should be close to 20 hours, but we are only at 15, but that's okay. We still have 20 days to catch up, although I won't be around this weekend, so that's going to make it even tougher. which means I have to stream for even more hours on other days. But that's okay. Let's see, in our app component, in our modules, let's see how we do these routes. Search and filter component. Oh, okay, so the search and filter component and the master detail component. These components don't have any HTML inside of them right now. So it's just going to say master detail works, and it's going to say school list works, probably. A school list works, but school list does have the list. Okay, so now we should have those routes, I think. So if I do /search, I don't know if that's working right. Master detail, master dash detail. No, I don't think that's working correctly. Let's go back to the tutorial and see what Max has to say. Alright, so I should have he says you don't need an empty path. But I'll have my empty path be the search and filter component. So the empty path will be component, search, and filter. Okay, and let's put a comma at the end of that because it's an object in an array. Alright, so we need to register the router module here in the imports. Router module, and that will automatically bring in router module from Angular router. Okay, now this is going to be weird. In the search and filter, I'm going to... Oh, okay, so that's really odd. I don't think this is right. I think I just broke this completely because I should be using the router outlet tags. And it'll automatically fill in what it should. Search and filter works. App components. Or maybe it's here. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's right. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe this might kind of work. Router outlets. Router outlets. And then these get canceled out. Can I do that? Okay, let's try this. All right, so I'm gonna hit save. Oh, wow, something's happening. So what are my two routes again? Let me look back at my code inside of app module. I have the search and schools. So let us type that in the address bar. Search, that brings up, okay, the current search, and schools. Master detail works. Okay, so it's kind of working actually. Now, why is my formatting all messed up? Search and filter. Why is the formatting weird? Oh. Search and filter. Well, hold on. Okay, so it's putting this row and going all the way across, another row doing a quarter. Yeah, right now it's only doing a quarter of the whole page. And why is it doing that? Let me look back at my app component. Because over here in the router outlet, we are putting a row inside of a row. So maybe I can, actually I think I can remove these structural directives now. Now that I have my router outlet kind of working, let me close that. I can get rid of that. Can I? Yes, and then I'll do like a router link. This is really tricky. Yeah, I don't need any of this. I don't need the on navigate because the router link is doing all of that stuff. The router is going to be doing all that stuff, the router outlet. Master detail, do I have anything in there? Okay, the master detail right now doesn't show anything, but I should be showing the app school. What's it called? App school detail. Master detail. And I should be showing the app school list. And in here, this is where I'm going to have my this is where I should like decide how, you know, how wide they should be or the rows and all that stuff. For now, let's just throw them in there. Let me refresh. I don't have any links to them, so I have to kind of type it in the bar, search bar. So it's going to be schools, master. Well, this should be showing other stuff. I don't know why it's not. Okay. That's weird. I saved it. Let me go back to my app module. We have our master detail component, search and filter component with all this HTML in there. I am wondering why it's making it let me remove the row because it's already in a row. Actually, no, hold on, let me think. Because it's putting a row inside of a row. Is there any way I could remove that? Maybe I don't have a row? And I just have the router outlet right there? Let me hit save. Now schools doesn't work. Search. Okay, so search works. So we're back in business here with search. But why isn't schools working? Master detail works, but it's not. That's not what it should say, because I have master detail works and then I have app school list. But it's not maybe it doesn't know what those selectors mean. Let me put a paragraph here and just see, is this working? Let me hit save. Yeah, master detail, is this working? But it's not loading the correct components. Let me see if in the console we have any errors. No. Don't have any errors there. Why are these not working? Why are these suddenly not working? Master detail components. Wait, let me remove this file because I don't need that. Implements on init, app master detail. Oh, wait. No. That's. It should work. But it's not because I'm doing something wrong. App school list. That is the selector. App school list. The template that's correct. School service is still in this folder. The model is in this folder also, so that's all right. Oh, I don't need any of the school selected stuff because I removed it. I have the router link controlling it. So that means I don't. Yeah, school list works does not show up at all. That is not cool. Neither does school detail. School service. Maybe I'm looking at, I'm putting in the wrong class. School detail component. What am I bringing in here in app module? Search and filter components. Is that wrong? No, that's right. It's the master detail component that's not working right. Master detail component. And the master detail component has these things, but it's not showing them correctly. Why is that happening? What is the issue? Because they are inside. Oh, I also have search and filter in here. Wait, why is search and filter in here? Search and filter should be outside of this. Is it? Yes, okay, never mind. I didn't see that correctly. Search and filter, master detail. Maybe it's not saved? Did I not save it? Let me close everything out so I know that I saved everything. And maybe I should, okay, so everything should be saved. Let me refresh, that didn't work. Let me reserve it. Okay, we're getting, oh, so here's the error. Master detail, error occurs in the template of component master detail component. Master detail.component.html. What is the issue? Let me try to reserve it and see if we can still get that same issue. Takes a little bit. error occurs in the template of component master detail component. Okay, so what is the error here? If app school details an Angular component, then verify that it is part of this module. Okay, so in the module, maybe it's not, it doesn't know where those components are. And the components that I'm looking for are the app school list, app school detail. So let me look in the module, school list component. So maybe this is wrong. Maybe it can't find it. School list and school detail. Let me put them together. School list, school detail. And let me try to find it again. Maybe this is not right. Wait. School list, school detail. They're there. Oh, maybe the master detail component is not declared here. Master detail? Maybe that's why? Alright, so I just hit save. Let's see. Alright, now it's like stuck. Let me look back at my terminal. We're still getting an error here. Oh wait, hold on. It's trying to fix it. Oh, we're good. Now we're good. Kind of. Okay, so the school list works and the school detail works. Although it's not displaying correctly, but at least we're making progress. So now I could do search, or I could do schools. But I have to type it in the address bar. And we broke our, clicking mechanism here. You fix one thing and 20 things break. That's how this stuff works sometimes. Okay, so school list works, school detail works. Let's see if we have any errors. No, so that seems to be okay. Let us go back to the to the Safari. Let me look in my console. Alright, so we're getting a bunch of errors. School selected is not a function. So every time I click, let me refresh. But every time I click on one of these, it says it's not a function. Alright, so let's go back to school list and see why that's happening. So that's now in master details, school list. So the way that it works is when it detects a when it detects a click event on one of the buttons, it calls the school selected method and passes the school? Where am I getting that from? Oh, the school's from the NG4. Alright, so, oh, I might have deleted it. You know what? I probably deleted it. School selected. So let us go back here. Yeah, I deleted it by accident. So school selected, and that receives a school of type schools, sorry. It doesn't return anything, so it's a void. But what this does, it sets the selected school equal to the school that was actually clicked. All right, so when that happens, okay, let's see if this works. Because I had broken it, so now that I think I fixed it, it should work. So when I click on a school, or maybe it's not showing in the details. Let me go back to schools. I click on the school and it's not loading. Okay, so let me try to debug and see if the click is even working. So I'm going to console.log clicked. Okay, let's just make sure that everything's okay in the terminal. Terminal looks good. All right, let's refresh this page. So now when I click it, it should say clicked. It does. Okay, so that's good. So that's great. But now it's not showing the school in the detail. Okay, so school, let me look at school detail. What's going on in there? School detail works, but none of this is working. So ng if school exists, which happens if I click on it. When I click, it should say school selected. We see the school name. Okay, so this is all the buttons in the list group. What am I doing wrong here? I'm loading the schools at the beginning on init when the component gets created. When the school's selected, I'm setting this dot selected school equal to the school that's passed. And what am I missing here? Oh, what did I delete? So when I was getting rid of some of the things, I guess I deleted it. I deleted something. See, it sucks not knowing if... Alright, let me just try to reserve it. I don't think that's going to fix the problem, but you never know. Sometimes it's worth trying. Okay, that worked. Alright, when I click it, it's not... What's the issue? It's not passing the data to school detail? Is that what the issue is? This dot selected school. Oh my goodness. How does the school detail receive that data then? Okay, it's listening for that event. Oh, it's an event. It's the event is called school selected. From the school service though. Where's the school service? Okay, here we go. So school selected. So I have to maybe I have to emit it. That might be the issue, that I'm clicking. Where is it? So I mean, this is working, but I might have to emit this dot school service dot emit. No. I might have to emit an event. And this is going to be, okay, so hold on. Okay, I think I'm getting closer. I have to emit an event because this is subscribed to the event school selected. But now in my school service, this is where the event gets emitted. School selected. So I think I could just dot school selected. Do I need to, let me see how I pass which school. I have to pass the school that was selected, I guess. And is that what the error is going to give me? No. School, or this dot, or I could just do school, right? Can I just pass the school that was selected? So I don't need to set this dot selected school. dot emit. Okay, let's moment of truth here. Yes. Oh my goodness. So that works. Let me go back to my code. I don't need to. I don't care which school is selected. I could delete that. I could delete that. All right. So we just had to emit the event that the school detail was listening for. That was subscribed. Hello, Katie Cakes. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I'm going slow. This is I'm going slow, but I'm slowly getting there. My formatting's a little screwed up, but that's okay. We were changing the structure of this project now. Schools or search. So now we have router outlets. Okay. I mean, these aren't connected in the right way. All right, so we got that working. Can I get the formatting right again? How's it being displayed right now? The master detail. Oh, the master detail is just showing one on top of the other. So maybe what I could do is creating a row, column, small. Let's go, I don't know, 5. And then put the school list in there. So this is going to make it look more like how it did before. And then we'll do another row. No, in the same row, we'll have a column, small, 7. So we need to total 12 total. We have to total 12 to go across. 5 plus 7 is 12. When I hit save now, it should look better when I go to the schools route. All right, good. Nothing selected right now, but when I do select one, all right, there we go. Okay. Good. So it's looking better. It's looking like it did before. And we have routes kind of working here. So we have the search route and the schools route. And we put this tab navigation thing up top because I'm going to remove the navigation from the nav bar. I just don't think that makes sense. I think I'd rather just have the like the page itself kind of look like a notebook or something, or tabs in a notebook that you could just select and it would make sense instead of having it on the nav bar. I think the nav bar should be like more cleaner looking. But then again, what do I know? I know nothing of design and user experience. It's just like all by feel, and maybe I feel the wrong things because I don't know this stuff. But okay, let's keep going. So we got so we have that. Okay, so now we might have to connect these to router links. Let me go back to my tutorial here. Okay. Okay, so we have to change our links. We have to change our links in the app component.html. So instead of using hrefs, we are going to use router link and set it equal to slash and get rid of the href and set router link equal to schools. Oh no, this is search. And then this is schools. So maybe that works. We'll find out. When I click on schools, that works. Okay, cool. So we click on search and it'll go back to search. We click on schools and we go back to schools. Right now you can see that it's not changing the active tab, so that's not, doesn't look right. Actually, I want to remove the search and school view from the nav bar, and I want to make sure that when I click on the specific tab, it sets that as the active tab. So that way I don't have to, that way I know like which one I'm actually looking at. Okay, so let us go back to the code. Let's go into our header and remove those details. Remove the things we don't want. We don't want the search bar, and we don't want the school view in our nav bar. Okay. I'm still gonna, you know what? I'm gonna remove this the search box that was there originally. Okay, so now this nav bar should just be like completely clean, just say teacher notes, and then probably on the right side it would have like a you know, a settings or an account link or something, or you know, log out. But we could worry about that much later on. But now teacher notes, the nav bar looks clean, and now I have to figure out a way to set this as the active tab. So let us continue. All right, so we're gonna remove this active class from the link, and we'll use router link active. So that directive will work for what we want. All right, let's see if this works. We could add the router link active to both of these tabs. Okay, let's hit enter, save. Let's go back, and now when I click it, it should make it active. The issue is that if I am at if I'm in like the home path, you'll see that none of them are active. And that's because in my code, in my app.module, my links, my router links, the empty path is the search and filter component, but it doesn't have the search path. So in our HTML, we need to, let me think. If we use I wonder if this will work. The router link active options. This is something that Max is doing right now in the tutorial. And he sets it equal to an object exact and set it equal to true. Let's see if that works. No. Why is that? I mean, wait, does it work? Oh no, because I'm refreshing the search path. But if I go back to the home path, it should, the home is search, but why isn't that working? Maybe we have to add it to both. Let's see. You know what? Maybe we just always redirect the main path to search. Maybe that's just how we should do it. All right, let's get that working then. I think I have to do something like this: path star, or hold on, let me Google it. Angular router redirect to root. Where is the I don't think I'm doing that right. Redirecting the route. Let me do Angular router default route. I think that might be what I'm looking for. Router link active. So that's what we have right now, but I want to have a default one. Okay, the wildcard. So maybe it's this. 2 stars, 2 asterisks. Let's try that. So it's 2 asterisks, not 1. And the component for that will be search and filter component. So that'll take us right to the search. I think that's it. Let's try it out. All right, let me remove. If I remove the search and just go to the empty path, no, it doesn't redirect us to search. Oh, I didn't do a redirect. What did I do? Here we go. We need to do a redirect. And I think I have to put that on the empty path. All right, so let's try that. On that empty path, we're going to do a redirect to search. And I wonder if the order matters. Let's try it first. And if they put anything else, it's going to send us back to search. Let's try that. Okay, so if I type anything that doesn't exist, it takes us back to search, but didn't really work actually. It actually has to, we have to redirect to search. Redirect to search. Let's try it. So when I type in any path, like any messed up path, it takes us right back to search. Perfect. And if I do an empty path, it takes us to search. Perfect. Okay, so we got it working. And the order did not matter. So I'm either going to be in search or schools. And if, by default, when I first go to this page or this site, it's going to go to search. It's going to load search by default. So that is the beauty of working with these routes and redirects. All right, so we're good there. I see that I do lose the school that I was looking at if I switch over back to the search. So we might need to figure out a way to save that, but that's not a big deal right now. So we have search, we have the schools. All right, let's keep going. You know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to set the active school to give it the class of active. So let's Google that. Angular active class enable. How to set Bootstrap navbar active class in Angular 2. So we're using Angular 10, but it's basically like a continuation of Angular 2. But this is for router links. Is there anything else for just like buttons? No, not for that. So Angular active class button or active button. See event delegation. Class dot, wait, what is this? I don't know if I like these answers. I don't know if they're correct. So let's keep searching. Adding the active class to each clicked button. ng class active. Let's try this. So that is going to be in our master detail in the school list. So the class is active if the button is clicked. But is that what it is? If that's what, maybe this works. Let's try it out. Okay, so that broke it. What did I do? Let's go back to our code. ng class, so I'm property binding active. Maybe it doesn't know what button dot is clicked. Maybe I could do, school dot is clicked. Nope. So that is, so let me see exactly what in Bootstrap or Angular, what in Bootstrap I'm looking at here. So it's a list group and a button. So I'm gonna try to search that in Google a little bit better. Angular boots. Okay, so Angular active Bootstrap list group button. How to make list group active when you click using Angular 5. Okay, so this is my question. Oh, but they're doing it like this. I mean, that'll work, but I don't like it. That's the simple solution? I thought there must be a better way. Let me see about this one. Add active to a list group item. Okay, so, well, it's a button. How do I have it in here? A list group on a button. So active, we set the class to active. When should it be active? School selected, school. I think I might have to use the solution that was provided just before. Let's see. How to add active class on click events. Oh, this is using like jQuery or something. But I don't want that. Oh, so maybe buttons can't be active. It has to be a list group. I mean, sorry, it has to be the or maybe they can. I'm not sure. I mean, we have the active class on here. Why wouldn't I be able to add the class to the button? I see no reason why I shouldn't be able to do that. Let me see these two solutions. Okay, so that's AngularJS, which is a different version of Angular. The old school one that started like 10 years ago. Where's the best solution here? Just set the selected item to that item. Okay. I mean, I think we could do something like that. Where was the original solution that I found that I said I could do, but that I didn't want to do it like that? I think it was this one. Yes, class.active, set that equal to I, because when I click on I, that's the school. I mean, let's see if we can make that work. Otherwise, I have the other solution right there ready to go. Okay, so is that how it works? Class.active equals active I. So it'll set the active button. Does that work? No. Okay, so what I could do is I could pass the item. So we could use this. We'll do ng class. That seems like the right thing. Not this class.active thing. I don't know what that is. ng class just seems like an Angular thing. Set active selected item equals item. Selected item equals. Okay, so that means I need selected item inside of here. School selected. Let's do selected school equals I, which is the school that I just selected. So when I click on it, school selected, pass in the school. Maybe I should also pass the I, and then I could use this property. So I'm passing the school and the number. So the school of type school and the item, which is a number. And now what I'm doing is I'm setting select this dot selected school equals I. And I need that property to be selected school is a number, but I'm not setting it equal to anything. Item, not I. Okay, because that's what I named it here. Moment of truth. No. Oh, why is that not working? Let me just make sure my terminal's all good. No, it's not. Maybe it is. Let me, cannot find item I. Whoa. School list should find I. Oh, let me save this. Okay, it looks like it should work now. I maybe hadn't saved it. Let me refresh the page. Search schools. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is exactly what I wanted. All right, cool. So I select the school and I see it on the right, and it's got the active class set to it. That is cool. That is pretty cool. All right, let me close out of those things. Okay, so what I did, so I just created a new property, called it selected school, and set that equal to the index of whatever school was selected. And when I click on the school, I pass the school, so the data from the ng4, and I also pass the index of the school. So when I'm going to do I'm going to add the active class to the to basically the index of the school that was selected, and that's what this does, which is great. Okay, so that works. I don't like that it doesn't save all of my files when I hit Command S, because I'm having like issues because where I'm like let me see if I can do VS Code save all files. How can we save all files in VS Code like we do in Visual Studio? Doesn't look like there's a shortcut binding to it. Simplest way would be to use the menu accelerators. Screw it. We'll just do it manually. Save all by default. I'm going to have to create like a new command or whatever, and I don't really want to do that or override anything that already exists. I don't really care that much. Okay, so all right, we've made some progress. So we have our search area, we have our schools. Actually, when you think about it, we have made some progress. In 2 hours, 2 hours and 9 minutes or so, we created the search, we created the filters. Actually, let me name this filters, or filter by, I should say. So that is going to be in the search and filters component. So let's call that We have the row. Let's make it an H2 and call it filter by ... And now, whoa, what is going on? Oh, maybe we might have to put it in its own row. That's annoying. Am I doing this wrong? Why is it div? Okay, so here's our 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe because the IDs are the same. Maybe that's why I like check one and it selects the other. So let me give these unique IDs. Check 4. Check 5. Check 5. Check 6. Check 7. Check 8 and check 9. Let me save that. Let me put, all right, we'll just put it in its own row. So a row, call SM12, we'll go all the way across, and then we'll just write filter by. Let me just space it out a little bit so it's easier to read. And there we go. So we have our filter by district. And let's see if it works now. Now if I click on the district, okay, so I fixed it. Okay, so that's great. The issue was that I was using the same identifier or ID. I hadn't given them all unique ones. So when I was clicking on 7 or whatever, it was selecting 1, unless I clicked on the exact radio box. But this is so much better. Hold on 1 second, I'm getting a text. Nope, okay. All right, so that works. So now we could select the actual correct districts, and then we'll hit search, and it'll open up the schools pane and show us the schools that belong or that are in those districts. We should also be able to filter by, maybe instead of just districts, maybe also the boroughs. Let me go back and look at Bootstrap again. Oh, I mean, I am in the browser, so let me go back to Get Bootstrap. You look at the components that they have in the documentation. I think those were forms. Multiple selects. So we could select by borough. I also want to be able to select by borough. So let us do that. Let me copy this. So we're going to have multiple ways of filtering. So filter by, here's a row. Let me create another row. That's going to span all the way across. But I'm going to remove the example select. I'm going to remove the multiple select. We'll remove the text area. Email address. Wait, what is that? Oh, I deleted the one I wanted. The example select I wanted to keep. Okay, so let me just undo some of those. Example select I want to keep. So this I want to keep. Everything else I want to delete. So let's go to form. So this div to that div. There we go. And the options will be Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and what am I missing? The Bronx. How could I forget the Bronx? So let me go back to Safari, and there is our, I don't want to call it as example select. Let me fix that. So filter by borough. Choose a borough. But I don't want it to be a label. I want to have a heading. I think that looks better. An H2 looks better. So let's do that. H2, H2. Form control. There we go. Choose a borough. Or filter by district. Okay, so filter by district. So we'll use H3s for the borough. H3, and then just write borough. And we'll have we'll put some space underneath. And what else could someone filter by? Geez, that looks, I mean, that's way too big. So we could filter by districts or boroughs. And then they have to hit search. We should have a search button. So I think we could just add a button at the bottom of all this. A row in its own row. We'll do a block button. So button dot btn, and then we'll add button dash block. We're gonna give it some styling, make it large, and button primary. So this is gonna say search. Let's see what that looks like. So there we go. We have our, I mean, it looks, maybe it's too big. Maybe it doesn't make sense to have a block button that goes all the way across, but maybe I can make it like a, I don't know, like a fourth of the size of the width of the page, and then offset it by a couple on the sides. So let's see if we can do that. Let's, instead of doing a button block, actually, I could leave it as button block, and then I could do the 3, so that'll give me 3, or if I do 6, now if I do 4, then I have 8 left over, so I could offset it by 4 and 4 on each side. Okay, so how do we do offsets? Call, is it offset? SM4? I'll have to look that up and see if that's correct. No, it's not offsetting. So let's go to layouts, grid, and let's search for offset. Okay, there we go. So offset MD4. So we could do so we don't have to do call, we just do offset SM4. So it's going to do 4, 4 on each side, and 4 is going to be the width. So 4 times 3 is 12, which is what we need the width to be for our grid. And when we look at our app, we see the search button in the middle. I don't know if I like it, but it's better than a block item right now, I think. I guess maybe it's the page is just too wide. We got to make this smaller, because I mean, look at all this empty space. We could clean it up, but for now, let's go with this. Filter by district, borough. What else could they filter by? I mean, they could either search. So they could use our little search bar, or they could filter by district or districts, or by a borough, and just boom, hit search, and out come all of the schools, and then they could look at. All right, when I actually get to the point where I'm going to be when I actually get to the point where I need to like figure out how to connect, like how I should structure my data on the back end, because I'm probably going to use MongoDB to store the data on the back end. I'm going to have to contact my friend, the same one that I'm doing this bet with, because he's like the expert at figuring out data structures. He's got a lot of experience with it. Whereas for me, it's like, I don't know if I should keep separate databases of schools separated from, teachers, or if I should put everything inside of schools and put, every school has, a database or has the teachers within it. I don't know if those things should be separate or if they should be contained, and wiring it all together and like getting it all to, to actually work, and getting like, being able to start searching for, PS1 and start seeing like a drop down, all that stuff I need to figure out. So, I mean, we have our work cut out for us, but I would say overall we're probably around like 3% of the way done, which is perfect because I still have about 44 hours to go. So, I mean, we have a lot of hours to do, but this is great. I'm actually really happy I'm doing this doing this bet. And I know I'm thinking out loud and talking to myself here, but it forces me to have to keep going. Even if I get stuck, even if I get frustrated, even if I feel like I'm making no progress, it just forces me to have to keep pushing. And, it's nice to learn some of this stuff and overcome some of these challenges. As long as we don't give up, as long as you don't give up when it comes to computer science, you'll get there. You might have to restart a bunch of times, but just don't give up. Okay, let's see what else. Let me look at the components and see if there's anything else that we would want. We're also gonna have to have a sign-in system. Maybe instead of using a MongoDB database, we use a Firebase database. We'll see. We'll see what we do. Those are the kind of things I'm gonna have to ask my friend about, because I'm not well versed in like production ready projects. Because everything I do is just like for fun, like little toy things. Let's see. I mean, we could have like news when someone logs in, like an update about like if schools were updated, or the last update of every school, like for each school. Maybe actually that would be a great idea. When I select a school, like last updated by, or last update. All right, I don't have to worry about that yet. Let's see. And then the same thing here, actually. So we filter, we hit search, it takes us to schools. We go to schools, we hit the teacher, and then there should be a teacher tab, and we'll see the teacher details. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get that working. So I'll leave it like this for now, but when I click on a teacher here, I want to go to the next tab. So it kind of makes sense that we just go all the way across. Like these tabs just should be in logical order. So you start at the search, you end up at the schools, and then you find the teacher, and then you end up in teachers. All right, so let's add that navigation tab and the routes for that. Okay, so, and I think do I already have a teacher thing? So we have our header, we have our master detail, we have our search and filter. Now we need a teacher view. So we have our teacher list inside of the master detail, but I'm gonna leave that in there. Is that even being used? Yes. Wait, is that being used? Blank works at blank. No, this is not being used. This component's not being used. Which one is being used? Teacher details works. That's not being used either, I don't think. Yeah, right now I'm just grabbing the teachers from the school. I have an array inside of the schools that has a list of teachers. But when I click on teachers, I want to be able to open up a teacher pane or tab. So that's going to be teacher details. Let us delete it for now. I want to delete this. You know what? App teacher details. I'm going to delete it and recreate it myself. Let's delete that. Move to trash. Let me go into the module. So teacher details, there we are. We're going to delete that. We're going to delete it from the declarations. Okay. Is there anything else I got to delete? The teacher list. You know what? I don't want to. I don't want to lose the. I mean, I did get this working, but I don't really care. The teacher model. Teacher list. I'm going to delete this eventually, but for now I'm going to keep it. I don't want to lose the model and the service right now. Not yet. But I'm going to put the teacher list outside of yeah, I'm going to create its own component. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's do that. We'll leave it in there for now, but we're going to have to delete that eventually once we clean up our code. So let's create a new ng-gc, and we're going to call this the teacher details, or teacher detail. So we have master detail, that's for the schools. How will that look on the teacher list? We'll call it teacher details. Because yeah, someone's going to click on the school, click on the teacher, and that's going to open up the teacher details. Okay, and we're going to have all that on its own page. Let's hit enter. Okay, so that created it. Let me delete the spec file. All right, let's see, where are we? We have our teacher details component here. Teacher detail works. Let's connect it to the nav tabs. So let's create this this new tab that we're gonna call teacher detail. Teacher detail. Detail with an L. The router link is going to be teacher-detail. So we're going to use that. We're going to create we're going to put that in the app routes in the app module. So we are going to have another path. Teacher details, and the component is called teacher details component. There we go. Let me put a comma after all that. Is teacher details in there? Perfect. When that gets selected, it becomes active. Yeah, I think that should be right, and the outlet will display. So right now it should just display teacher detail works. Let me save all this. Actually, let me close some of these just because it's easier to close and see what's not saved. All right, let's go back to our project. And we have our teacher detail tab, which is exactly what I want. So we have our search, we have our schools. You click on a teacher and it'll take us to the teacher detail. And the teacher details works. So over here is where we're going to have our like dashboard for information about this teacher or each teacher that we're gonna store, we're gonna keep track of. Okay, so that is going to be in teacher details. All right, let's go back to Bootstrap and let's see what are we gonna use? What are we gonna use that we're gonna Maybe I really do like the Jumbotron. I mean, call me silly, but I like the way this Jumbotron thing looks. But maybe it should be, yeah, we'll use it. Why not? This is a simple hero unit. Let's copy it. Let's throw it in our teacher details. Do I need rows? We'll leave it like that for now. Let's see if this works. Teacher name. Actually, let's use like fake names. What was it? Alice Blue. And what is this lead thing? Okay, Alice Blue. The school that she. Okay, so let's list the school that she works at. Let's think about what we want to list here for Alice. We want to list her school, her ID number, maybe the grades taught. What else? Subjects taught. Or maybe the certification. So, certifications. So we have the school, her ID number. Actually, maybe her ID is more important than the school. Well, the school is important, but she could go from school to school, which means that on our end, in the back end, we have to be able to move teachers from one school to the other. So her ID number, her school, maybe grades taught, certifications. What else? What does this look like? That and then that. Okay. It could be. It would be cool to have a picture. Maybe a media object. Is that what is a picture? Yeah, maybe a picture like along the right. Resume, maybe if you okay, so you could store the resume. It could be a file, resume. So like, let's say the teacher uploads a resume, or we have a resume on deck. And notes. So remember, the idea is that we're going to keep track of notes. I mean, maybe this is too much for like the MVP. Maybe just sticking to like ID number, school, certification. I'll get rid of resume because who cares? But I mean, that's all stuff that you could go for like version 2.0 or something. For now, like just getting the basics is good enough. So we have the ID number. We'll put that in a H2. Or maybe an H3 might make more sense. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's look at what the H2 looks like. And the H3. School. Certifications. And notes. H3. Okay. H2 is a little bit too big. H3 still feels a little bit too big, so let's go with H4s. I think H4s make more sense. So H4, H4. There we go. And that looks like this. So that looks a little bit better. It would be nice to have a picture, I guess. Alice Blue, her ID number. One. School is PS1. What do we call PS1? The school for CS and other tech stuff. Okay, so let me go back to the code. She works at the school for CS and other tech stuff. Her certification is in, I don't know, 7 to 12 biology. Or biology I'll just leave it as biology. And right now we don't have any notes, but we would have notes in text area, or we, hold on, we'll get there. We'll get there on the notes. But this is what Alice looks like so far. I don't know if I like everything like on the left. It looks like, I mean, this is a little bit too wide. How do we store that? Where's tables? What would a table look like? Let me search for table. It's in content. Okay, so tables are in content. Okay, so we could have trainings attended also. So I'm going to think about a few things here. So the teachers dot component. Okay. Do I like everything inside of a Jumbotron? We'll leave it like that for now. Who really cares about styling too much? Even though it's nice to see what it'll kind of look like. We'll do notes there. We'll leave that there. Okay, so we threw this table inside. So that's what it would kind of look like. Maybe in the table we would have trainings attended and dates, stuff like that. So I have to think about how this is structured. So, date, training attended. Let's do something like that. Date, training attended. Maybe the number of hours. And we'll just do those three for now. So the date was 1/1/11. The training was the how to turn on a computer. And the number of hours was 6. It took her 6 hours to learn how to turn on a computer. So the second row, we have another person. Oh no, her second training. She also went to one in February. The name of the training was What is a Mouse? And she did that for 6 hours also. And then her third training was on March 1st on the 2011. What is a mouse? And let's say, I don't even know. How to type. And that was also 6 hours. Okay, so, I mean, everything I'm doing here, those are going to require components. I really should be breaking this down further into other components. So this is what it looks like. This is actually kind of neat. Training attended, maybe location. Actually, do I care about the location of the trainings? Probably not. So notes, what would the notes look like? Ooh, these tables look nice. Some of these tables look nice. Oh, I should have done that. Table striped. I like that better. So let me bring that over. I say that I'm not going to worry about styling, and then I see something that looks kind of nice, and then I bring it in. All right, there we go. So it's a little easier to read these. I don't need the learn more button because we don't need to learn more about Alice Blue. So I'm going to remove that button. All right, I'm going to have to make a phone call in just about 30 seconds. So I'm going to mute my microphone, but I'm going to still be here. Actually, I'm going to pause the timer too, because I'm not really coding. Even though I'm streaming, I really do want to keep the timer just going if I'm actually working on stuff. All right, so let me pause the timer. When should I pause it? All right, I'm going to pause the timer and make my phone call. And then I'll restart. But I'll still be here. You just won't be able to hear me. So give me a few minutes. All right, and I am back. Before I start the timer again, I'm going to grab some water, so I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. Okay, so we are going to start the timer up again in just a second. Okay, let us continue the timer. There it goes. Okay, so now, actually this is kind of like the fun part. This is fun. I did say that, you know, I don't want to waste too much time on styling, but I kind of am having fun making it look like kind of pretty, maybe a little pretty. Okay, and then, like, you know, if this teacher needed to get like a certificate for having attended or something, actually, now that I think about it, we do need her email address. So that would be something very important to have up top. So Alice Blue, we're going to give you an email. And her email is ablue at ps1.org. Let me go back to my Safari. There we go. And, you know, I can make this look, or I should say email address. Email address. And maybe like all this should not be bold. So I mean, I could play around with the styling later, but this is okay. All right, what else? What else could I work on? What else could I do? So I can. Oh, notes. Yeah. What are the notes gonna look like for each person? I don't like these border tables. Let us use. Let me go to the components. Maybe it'll look like this. These like just these little alerts, and have this color. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep it like that though. Let's see. See if there's anything else. Maybe. No, I don't think a card doesn't really make sense. Does it? Actually, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. So let's use the card and the card body classes there. Actually, we'll, we could use some of this stuff. Or should it be like an accordion? Or no, actually, geez, I keep changing my mind when I see other things. With supporting text below is a natural leading to cards can be styled by adding card header to H elements. Okay, we'll use this one. Okay, so that is going to be under our notes. We have the card element, and this is going to be visit notes, or just notes. Visit maybe on 1 to 12. Let me see what that looks like right now. All right, so that would be one note. That's not great because I feel like an accordion makes more sense. Because if you like have a lot of notes, I mean, that's a lot of scrolling. Unless you do like latest visit. All right, can we do an accordion? How would we do an accordion? Ooh, I like this. I actually kind of like that layout more. I mean, I could just center her name. You know what? I'm gonna go crazy with this styling. Let us just. I mean, this looks nice too. Maybe another nav bar with like the visits along the top, or notes along the top. But then if there's a lot, it's kind of weird. All right, let me see do we have an accordion or collapsible? That's what it's called. Yeah, that actually looks better. Maybe not with buttons, but actually no, an accordion. This is what I was thinking. I think this looks a lot better. Oh yeah, that's nice because it condenses all that information. All right, let's use that accordion. All right, so let's copy all this and we'll throw it inside of Most recent, maybe most recent note. Nah, we'll get rid of that card for now and just use an accordion. All right, so let's get rid of the card and let's put that here. Geez, you can start seeing why components are so important because, or so clutch because, you know, right now it's just getting, this project's just getting like messy. All right, so let us continue. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Look at that. All right, so in the actual item, we could have some information of like what the notes are or the visit. All right, let me close that terminal. Let's see what we got here. Visit 1, you know, 1, 1, 12. Visit 2, you know, 2, 2, 12. Visit 3, 3, 3, 12. So she had 3 visits in 2012. I mean, I kind of want to like put like, you know, who did the visiting. You know, we have the dates. We don't have times here. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. But we'll have to fix this styling because I don't like the way it looks. But the looks don't really matter right now. It's the functionality and like what we have here that actually kind of matters more. Okay, so we have our notes. We're gonna have a trainings attended section. So let me go down here again. This is going to be, let me do an H2 and call this trainings attended. This is going to be called the, you know, title. So does it always, it always starts out not collapsed. So there must be like some sort of like active class on that. On the accordion, let's see. Maybe it's the aria expanded. Is that the one? False, yeah. So let's do aria expanded false so that it opens up closed. Why is that not working? I saved it, right? Yes. Collapse 1, toggle collapse. Button link, button block, text left. Aria expanded. Why is it expanded? Let me look at the terminal. Everything should still be going. Okay, no, everything's right. But for some reason, it opens her up. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, it opens her up as expanded. I don't like that. Collapse 1. Collapse 2. Aria expanded equals false. Aria expanded. Alright, so let me go back to true, because that didn't change anything anyway. Oh, here, collapsed. So on that button, we have to make sure it has the collapsed class. Let's see what happens. Now maybe I can do the aria expanded equals false. That's what everyone else has. Okay, so let's save that. Why is it doing that? Did I save it? Yeah, I saved it. Button link, button block, text left, collapsed. What about this? Button link, text left, collapsed. Let me just copy that. And it's ARIA expanded is false. So this is 1. ARIA expanded false. Maybe there's heading 1. ID is collapse 1. Heading 1. Alright, not sure why that's not working, but nothing I could do about it right now. Okay, so we have our trainings attended, we have our notes. Notes should be bigger. Should be as big as the trainings attended. Trainings attended is H2. So notes is going to be in H2. Let us skip a line, so I'll use a BR to skip a line. And there we go. Let me remove this line down here. I don't think it's necessary. That is right underneath. Okay, there we go. That's there. Maybe we should have kept it. Kind of looks better with it, I guess. All right, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's see. So we have our search, we have our schools. You select a teacher and it'll open up the teacher detail for that teacher. Maybe we should have the search. Maybe we should have another search for teacher up here. Maybe people get to search for whatever teacher they want. Or maybe if they search for, like, you know, Charlie, and then they see every single Charlie in the system. In like just a giant list. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's better to just have it like this for now. All right, but I kind of like this. If someone wanted to add a note, maybe they would type it up. Maybe I would have it over here on the top right. Or I would have a button, add note, and then it would pop the note over here. We have the trainings attended, we have the number of hours. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think we have a good starting point. I'd say we're like 6% of the way done. Is there anything else I want to like bring in? Maybe total hours? I'd want to have like a total thing. Okay, let me pull up my table again and see what I could, or maybe I would have like a card. Maybe I would have a card that has like all the total information. Or can you do a footer on a table like that? Do they need to be hoverable? Do I care? No, they don't. I don't care about that because we're not going to be selecting them anyway. Small table, I mean, I prefer that just because I like smaller fonts and everything like that. Heading, no. Always responsive, no, not what I'm thinking about. Figures, no. Let me do bootstrap table total row. Well, I don't know what this is. I haven't seen this. Bootstrap table examples. Oh, here we go. This is actually, I like this. How did they do this? Here's a bunch of languages. Can I inspect and see how they did that table? Let me inspect this specific row. Oh my goodness, this is going to be tough to read. I don't know why the formatting is coming out like that. Here we go. Table class, table border, table hover. That doesn't matter. T head. Not sure, but we would probably want totals. What is this? Bootstrap? Is this a different page? Oh, this is the examples. So I was in documentation before, right? No, wait. Why does it say Vue.js? This is different than what I was looking at, I think. Bootstraptable.com. Oh, that's why. Gotcha. Okay, so this is a different website completely. But let's look at these examples. Let me see this dashboard. Ooh, that's nice. These things look nice. Share exports. Search bar up top, sign out. That makes sense. All right, let me see if there's anything else I could add to this today that I want. I think we made some pretty good progress. But if there's anything else I think I could add, like any other feature, then maybe I'll work on that and keep this stream going. All right, let's see. So we have navigating programmatically. Using relative paths, passing parameters to routes. But I don't think I really need to do that. Maybe we would say that, or maybe show the teacher number in the teacher ID in the path, the address bar. Maybe. Why don't we call it the teacher component instead? Because I called it the teacher details. Actually, you know what I could do? I could start creating more components. Because, I mean, this looks like really messy. So I could break this down into the different components that make it up. So we could have the teacher details. So a teacher could have teacher details, teacher notes, teacher trainings. Yeah, I think I should like compartmentalize all that stuff. Uh, Maybe even with the schools too. I mean, the school details right now has everything in there, but maybe I should change it. But yeah, we can see that this is getting bloated. So let's do that. Let's make the appropriate teacher details. So let's call this. Let's change its name from teacher details to teacher component. So just teacher. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let us do that. So teacher details. And also the model. I should create the model as well. Let's rename this to just teacher. Okay, so that's going to break a whole bunch of things, right? Same thing with teacher details. We'll call this. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just leave it the way it was. Teacher component. Teacher component, then have the teacher details. You know what? I'm gonna leave it like this for now, even though I know I mean, I really should spend the time and turn a bunch of these things into components, but I don't know if I could like handle like the. I don't know if I can mentally handle this thing not working the way I want it to work. Uh, After making this progress, so let me see if there's anything else I could do. Setting up routes, adding navigation. Well, we gotta be careful because in our master detail view, I'm seeing that he's talking about if you have hrefs, that could screw up. Uh, it could mess up. Okay, so good. Okay, so he used a link, so an ahref, and he was saying that you got to remove the hrefs. But I have a button, so because the hrefs, when you click on them, they could reload the page, and that's not the functionality you want. But since I'm using buttons, I think I'm okay. I think I'm safe. Because you don't want to reload the page. You want Angular to handle all that stuff, basically. Maybe a way to add schools. Maybe I could get that functionality working by the end of tonight. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop it here. I think this might be a good place. I'm not sure what to do next, so maybe like, tomorrow at some point I'll be able to like look through this. I mean, I'm looking through the course, and I don't really know what else I would add that applies to my project. Um, so I think I'm gonna stop here. I think we made some decent progress today. Um, So we started off with just the master detail view where you could like click on a school and see the information, the details of that school. So I was able to get the functionality for showing which school is active right now. I removed, or sorry, I created two views, a schools view and a search view. And so I created the search page that I think would be logical for like, as the entry point for someone that's like looking for specific schools or, you know, all that. They could go here, they could search for a school, a principal, a teacher, select the districts that they want, or select the districts they want, or select the borough that they want to look at. And then when they hit the search button, the schools page would show up, and it'll show all of the list of schools that meet the criteria from the search. I mean, that's the idea. Right now, none of that works. None of that has been wired together. So the idea would be that, you filter. Maybe the search would be a little different, where if you're searching for something specific, so if you're searching for like Alice, like we would have like a little drop down, and it starts trying to find any Alice's that exist. And then once they select it, it might go directly to the teacher detail. Or if they're searching for a specific school, then it'll go directly to the school detail view. Um, Actually, that'll be weird because then we don't really need a list of schools. But maybe I could handle that case separately if they search for a specific school. Um, yeah, I mean there might be more information I should also include in the schools, but that's okay. For now, I don't need to worry about that. But I was really wanting to get I really wanted to be able to have teachers or someone filtered like by district and just see click search and just see the schools that meet that criteria. And then when they select a school, they have like the list of teachers, and if they click on a teacher, then it would load the teacher detail tab, and you would be able to see like the notes that you have on the teacher, some of the teacher's information, and maybe some trainings that they attended for someone that's trying to keep track of things. And maybe there could be a button to like email them a certificate, like create a PDF. I mean, all that stuff is like way off in the future, but there could be a button to just send them an email of like what your for a certificate that they earned for having done a training. Or we need to add like a notes taking feature where right now it's just right now we just have 3 hard coded like lorem ipsum notes with like whatever in here, but we should have the ability to add more notes, and that's pretty much it so far. So I think I'm going to stop there. Like I said, I'm going to look into possibly connecting a database to this. I'm going to talk to maybe I'll talk to my friend and see if he wants to come on the stream, at least like through voice, and help me think through and maybe answer some of my questions regarding how to store some of this stuff in a database. I apologize. I've been like clicking back and forth between these 3 tabs that I just like created. But I think this might be a good place to stop. So for anyone that just scrolled from the very beginning all the way to here, you can see the views that we've created. We have our teacher detail view. We have our schools view that's working again. And we now have a search and filter view. Okay, or page, I should say. So that is what I've done so far, and I will continue. Let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. I hope to continue tomorrow because this weekend I'm not going to be able to stream. I'm going to be away camping, so I need to do a lot of work before then. I need to put in a lot of hours in the stream before then. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to keep figuring out what to do next, because I'm like kind of like reaching the limits of what I'm learning in this course, because it doesn't directly apply like one-to-one, like but maybe we'll create a REST API and like start doing that stuff. But I do want to talk to my friend first and ask him about how to store this data. Okay, so if you're watching, for anyone watching, thank you so much for making it till the end. Or if you just scrolled here from the very beginning, thank you for scrolling all the way to the end to see what I ended up creating or finishing by the end of this video. If you have any questions or you just want to say hi or anything, feel free to comment down below or join one of the next streams in the coming days, and feel free to say hi. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all next time.